In this video, we're going to look at how you can light your characters in your 3D animation so it always looks perfect. So stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Eon and welcome to my Start Animating YouTube channel. The channel that is specifically aimed at everyone that is new to animation, and if that is you, welcome, you are at the right place. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and also click on that little notification bell so that you can get notified every week when I upload a brand new video. So now today we're going to look at how you can light your characters so it always looks perfectly in your 3D animations. So that is very important because with 3D animation, obviously you need to light your scene. It's almost like a film set. So you've got your location, you've got your props, you've got your characters, and you need to light your scene as well. So there's a technique when it comes to videography or even photography. It is called the 3-point lighting. So this is a technique that everyone uses, and it's just a great way for you to light your scene. And this is just a foundation, okay? So you can use this technique and apply it in different ways to get different results. And we'll dive a little bit into that. But if you want to learn more about lighting, I did create a video in the past. I'll put it right here at the top. So make sure you go and check that out as well. I'm sure that video with this one will really help you. Okay, so here in front of me I've got iClone open and I've got a character, and you can see it is completely dark. So now when it comes to lighting, there, like I've mentioned, it's 3-point lighting, which means you've got 3 lights, okay, and each light has a different function. So the first light we're going to look at is your key light. Okay, so that is, let's click, there you go, and now you can see my character is nicely lit. Okay, but you'll see there's a lot of shadows being cast as well, and that is not something that you want. Now before I go to the full light or the next light, it is also important to, when you light, put on your key light, that you just zoom out and you make sure you've got the shadows the way you want it. Okay, so for instance, it's always nice to have a shadow here on the neck, because now the cheekbone stands out much better. So play around and make sure you're happy with the result. So I'm kind of happy with this. The cheekbone is not stands out, so the eyes, the cap doesn't cast a massive shadow over the eyes. So I am kind of happy with this, but you can see there's still shadows. The one side is still dark. Okay, so your key light is your main light to light your character. Now to soften these shadows, you're going to have a fill light. Okay, so you've got your key light, and now the next light is your fill light. So if we add that, now you can see those shadows are a lot softer. So we can now just play around and make sure we are happy. Obviously what we want is we want the shadows to be softer. So now you can see there by the cap, I can play around. That looks unnatural, so you want a little bit of shadow, but the eyes are visible, and you can just fill in the shadows so that it is not as dark. And then what you can do as well is you can just play with the multiply, the intensity of how much. You can see now there's a lot of shadows, so I just want to fill it, but I don't want my full light to be sharper than my key light. So obviously I need to draw it back a little bit. Let's make it 0.5. I think that is perfect. Okay, so now we've got our main light, our key light, and we also have our fill light that just lights up the shadows so that the one side, your shadows aren't as dark and everything is still visible. You can see I've got my my key light is now, it nicely frames the jaw, but my full light still lights up the face so that the cap doesn't throw a shadow over my eyes. So this kind of looks really, really nice, but you want your character to also stand out from the backdrop, okay? And that is where your backlight or your rim light comes into play. That is your third light. So if I'm going to add that, you will see now the cap is lit, his shoulder here is lit, so the back of my character is lit and it will now stand out from the background. You can see if I take it off, it makes a massive difference. My character just stands out. So again, you can now just play around where you want that rim light to appear. That is from the side, so obviously you don't want that. So maybe if we do that, and I think that looks good. So his cap is nicely lit, his shoulder is lit, so now he kind of stands out from the background. So let's quickly, if we take out everything, okay, so there is, just to show you what each light does, okay, so this is your key light, so it lights up your character, so you can maybe just add a little bit more. So I think that is perfect. Let's make it say 1.5. Okay, so I think that is perfect. Okay, so that is your key light. So let's take that out. Let's look at what the fill light does. You can see it is not that much. It is not as bright. The purpose of your fill light is just to light up your shadows so that your shadows aren't as dark. Okay, and then your rim light is just to light the silhouette so that it stands out from the background. So obviously if we add all three, your character is now nicely lit. Okay, so that is your 3-point lighting and how it works. So how can you apply this in different ways? Now let's say for instance your character is sitting in a living room and it is night, he is watching TV, so now you can apply this as well, but now you're going to use your lights in a different way. So okay, so let's remove everything again. Now let's say obviously it's night, okay, and maybe he's sitting right next to him is a lamp, okay, on the table. So let's just do that quickly. So let's change the color. So let's make the color like a warm color, like so. I think that is too much, but it is a night scene, so we can drop that. And we can also let's make it like so. So there's a lamp right next to him, and it's just like so. Okay, the lamp will obviously be on his side. Okay, so now the lamp is maybe shining on him as he's sitting, so the lamp has a warm feel. I think this is too yellow, but it also, if you have a background, it will look much better. So let's look at the fill light. Okay, so the fill light maybe is a window that is open on the side and it is night, so you want it to have a little bit of a bluish shine to it, like so, and we can just adjust again the angle that it is coming from. So, or what you can do is you can make it the TV that is shining on him. Okay, so maybe he's watching TV, so there you go. And now let's say there's a window open and some moonlight shines in, so you can maybe use that as your rim light. Okay, and we can just maybe make that blue, a darker blue, and we can again just play around. And now we have lit our character, and he's maybe watching TV. Okay, and so this is basically just your 3-point lighting. You use this technique in different ways. You can create different moods for your scene. As you can see, I've used the same 3 lights. I've just changed the angle, changed the color, so that it fits the scene. The first one was just a basic lighting setup, and then I've used that same principle to light my character while he is watching TV. And that is just a great way to always have a perfect lighting setup, so your characters is nicely lit, and everything looks the way it should. So you've got your key light, which is your main light. Then you've got your fill light that just fills your shadows so that your shadows aren't as dark. And then you've got your rim light, which is from the back. You light your rim light is always from the back, so that it highlights your silhouette, so that your character stands out from the background. So guys, that is basically lighting, quickly explained how you can light your characters in your 3D animation so that it always looks great. You can use different colors to set different moods, but the principle, the 3-point lighting principle, will always remain the same. What you can do is also you can maybe link the lights or some of the lights to your character. So if your character walks, the lights will always move with him, and he will always be lit. But obviously if it is a TV, then you can't do it. Or if it's the window with the moonlight shining through, those lights are static. They don't move with your character. So when your character moves, he will move out of that light. So obviously you can't link those lights to your character, but you can just have some lighting linked to your character so that it always stands out. So your character is always lit perfectly. Even though he moves around, he will always look perfect in your shot. So guys, that is lighting explained. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if there's any videos or topics regarding animation you want me to cover in the future. I would love to answer your questions. And remember, if you are new to animation and you want to start out, or you feel it's too expensive, there's so many softwares you need to get, like animation software, etc. Well, I compiled a list of free software. It's not pirated copies, it's actually freeware. It is available to the public for free. It contains 2D animation, 3D animation, script writing, storyboarding, video editing, audio recording and mixing. So all the software that you're going to need to create your animations. I compiled a list. If you are interested, in the description box below there's a link. Just click there and I will send that list to you, so you have no excuses to have all the software you need to create awesome looking animations. So guys, that is it for me. I'll see you guys next week with another video. God bless and happy animating.